welcome to the annual Hunger Games. After waiting all this time, we have finally found our victor. From District 1, let's introduce the Protists! This year is unprecedented, as the last one was over a century ago. But now let's jump right into the synopsis of this year's victor. Single-celled protists are less than a millimeter in length, but are more than capable of holding themselves in this generation of Hunger Games, as we have seen. Better known as the species of Archaea placida, often are able to derive its main nutrition from photosynthesis, but there are branches of algae that are able to become heterotrophic. There are adaptations protists have up their sleeves. Many protists have evolved come equipped with a form of mobility, whether it be pseudopods, cilia, or flagella. Most protists have contractile vacuoles which are able to pump out excess water, which can in turn control their osmotic pressure. Protists can be either unicellular or multicellular as it suits their needs. Majority are unicellular, but some can come in sizes as long as 100 meters, such as kelp. Protists oftentimes asexually reproduce via binary fission, multiple fission, and budding. But there are species of protists that are able to reproduce sexually using gametes to pass on their DNA. Now, after such a surprising win, let's hear it from our victor down in the interview. After several generations, we have found our victor. From District 1, we're introducing the bryophyte. This land plant has proved worthy in the annual Hunger Games this year. So we'll just start off by asking the top 5 major forces that cause allele frequencies of the protist population in this year's games. So could you explain how natural selection has impacted your experience in the Hunger Games?
Well, through natural selection, protists that weren't suited for the environment ended up, dying.
Mm-hmm.
So the protist Rosaria doesn't survive in the same environment as land plants do because they're unable to photosynthesize. So that really hindered their ability to continue in the games.
How has gene flow influenced your mode of evolution this year?
So with gene flow, the red algae evolved towards green algae, and its offspring continued to evolve from there because red algae lacked the ability to move around as green algae was able to.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, these two kinds of algae kind of morphed together and just showed the characteristics for the green algae.
And how did your evolution play out in early stages?
It was mostly through the introduction of a new allele via mutation. The chlorophytes evolved towards Caraphesians eventually. The chlorophytes had been unable to evolve or to continue evolving towards land plants, and therefore they had to split into Caraphesians, and that enabled their evolution to continue down the path of land plants throughout the games.
Sounds good. And through which means was your population better fitted for survival in the Hunger Games?
I would say that had to play with sexual selection. Aquatic algae and land plants split populations later on in the games.
Mm-hmm.
Because protists chose mates based on their ability to survive in drier environments, which were in the Hunger Games.
And how has your specific species of protist survived through the Hunger Games?
I would probably say that was due to genetic drift, through the bottleneck effect after the severe drop in population caused by, the Hunger Games with everybody killing each other. Certain alleles became overrepresented in the population, and so the land plants eventually switched to a more specific group, and it just became the bryophytes left, and then eventually just me.
Well, I think that's all the questions we have for today. Let's just give it one more applause for our victor of the annual Hunger Games. And we'll see you guys next year.
I can't move. I haven't adapted to be mobile.
Aha! I am mobile.